Hi, welcome to the John Gaunt podcast. If you're watching live on the TV, on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, a big hello. If you're watching it on replay, that's fine. You can still comment. If you are watching live now, let's get your views. It's all about yesterday's meeting with Trump. Some days I think I'm living in a parallel universe. I can't believe the way, I can actually, all the mainstream press reckon Starmer was brilliant and he was a statesman. Did you see him? How much he was shaking when he turned up for Trump? Trump was playing him. How pathetic is it that the UK at this crucial moment, at one of the most important political meetings in decades, were represented by those three buffoons? Who am I talking about? Starmer, Lammy, David Lammy, you're a part of the Ku Klux Klan, him, and Mandelson, who also accused Trump of being a racist, changed his tune. Now he's got the big posh job in Washington. They're all stinking hypocrites. And Trump obviously knew what they'd been saying about him. But I tell you what is funny. Starmer is now dancing to Trump's tune. Yesterday, I said he was the lapdog of Trump. I didn't quite mean it in the way I mean it today. Now he is doing exactly what Trump wants. And the uber liberal left and the MSM and the BBC in particular don't know how to report this. Because the simple facts are this. In just just 4 weeks, Donald Trump has changed the political situation, not just in America, but across the world. He came in and he basically said, I ain't having this anymore. I'm not paying for all the protection of Europe. You better start paying. He said to Zelensky, the war for you, Johnny, the war is over. That's what he said. And today he's meeting him and he's going to press that home. They all went into a panic. They all went into a tailspin. How can this man bully? Who does he think he is? And then he did the same in Gaza. But look what's happened. We're going to get peace in both places. Why? Because Donald Trump is unorthodox. He's also a brilliant diplomat. Yesterday was an absolute masterclass in diplomacy and in business. If you watched it properly, and I watched it all day, he was schooling Starmer, absolutely schooling him. But you know, there's a racism in this country, right? There's a racism at play. It's against American blokes, white Americans. The liberal media in this country and the political class hate white Americans. They hate the whole concept of MAGA, even though MAGA is made up of Hispanic Americans and an awful lot of African Americans, because Donald Trump appeals to them and they don't like it. They don't like it up on Corporal Jones. That's what's going on. Lammy and Mandelson, stinking hypocrites, and Starmer. Starmer was against Trump coming last time. And of course, Citizen Khan, he was against it, wasn't it? So they protested last time Trump came. They made filthy comments about him, but they're now all over him, especially Fat Boy Lammy. I can say that because I'm fat. He's got his snout in the trough deeper than anyone. And he put out a tweet last night saying, what a pleasure it was to be in the White House. You stinking, filthy, or racist hypocrite. That's what you are. And you, Starmer, you're anti-white men, white working class men. And it's ridiculous when you think about it. And so now that Trump's got everyone to the table, now that Trump is going to give us peace, how are they going to report him from now on? Because if he pulls off, well, if he only just pulls off Zelensky, I didn't mean it like that, the peace in the Ukraine, right? He deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. Will he get it? Will he bugger it? I tell you who they'll give it to. They'll probably give it to Starmer or Macron. Trump is creating the peace, no one else. And he's doing it with tough, hard, business-like negotiation. And if he pulled off Gaza as well, they're going to be in a real quandary. Real quandary. What would they do then? What will they do? What would smug Stephen Fry say then if Trump pulls off Gaza and pulls off the Ukraine? Makes the world safer. These people make me sick. They make me absolutely sick. I'm not a Trump fanboy. I can see lots of faults on him, but I'd rather have somebody like Trump who understands the deal, who understands business. This is the problem with the BBC and all of the MSM. They have all been racist to Trump. They're acting as if Trump is thick. Now, I know he was born with a silver canteen of cutlery in his mouth, not just a silver spoon, but you don't get to where he is. I've always said this about presidents. You don't become the president of America by being thick or not being ruthless. You have to have both those qualities. Look at the Kennedys. It's ridiculous. And they have their sexual picadillos, don't they? The Kennedys weren't exactly virgins, were they? Or faithful, but people still hold them up as some of the greatest presidents going. I suppose mainly because they got shot. But you follow where I'm coming from. And the same with Trump. I wouldn't want him to babysit my kids. I wouldn't want him to go out with my daughters. I nearly said my wife then, but she's not available. But she's a beautiful lady. But you understand where I'm coming from. You can't have everything, but I want a tough, hard leader. And that's what the whole world needs at the moment. And I get jerks like this sending me, I just wanted to read some of these tweets. It must really hurt you that President Trump was so fulsome in his praise and admiration of Sir Keir Starmer. Go have a rest in a dark room and give your head a wobble, you unpatriotic tit. Now, I love this because it sums up everything that I want to say, or another part of what I want to say. Peter McGurk, who's clearly a socialist, if you look at his timeline. Let's look at a couple of things. Trump was fulsome in his praise. That's called business bull, SH1T. He's bullying him up to get the deal. You've clearly never worked in business. You don't go in there straight away, and you certainly don't go in and try and screw somebody over. There's always got to be something in it for everyone in every deal. That's what Trump was doing. But he was also live trolling Starmer. When he said, oh, lovely suit, he was taking the mickey. He knows about the Lord Alley situation. That's why he said the thing about the suit. And then when he said, oh, I wish I had an accent like you, he was taking the mick again. He was trolling him. He was trolling him because of the voice lessons. Christmas Eve with the woman whose husband used to be in Confessions of a Window Cleaner. You couldn't make it up. And then the big troll was when he said, when Starmer was getting above himself, when he actually could get a sentence out, he said, what, you think you could do Russia on your own? And he just laughed. He just laughed in the face of Starmer. It was brilliant. But this idea, well, I need to go and have a rest in a dark room and give my head a wobble. No, you need to understand how the world works. You pompous, pious little lefty P-R-I-C-K. You're an idiot. But you're not alone. There's loads of idiots this morning. Everybody's saying, oh, he's done wonderful. Okay, he's done wonderful. Right, let me get my other notes because I must ask this question. What did he achieve? I've written down a few notes today because there's so much to talk about. So, one thing Starmer did right, and this will be Mandelson, I'm sure. I'm coming to your comments in a moment. Just wait there. Promise you, I'm coming to you. But I just wanted to get the agenda set up first. The taking church, the letter from His Majesty the King was a work of genius. Very clever PR. But this racism thing comes up again. They are painting Trump as if he's thick. They did that, and they made the same mistake with Ronald Reagan. I was one of the people. I used to think he was as thick as the proverbial pig, you know what. But he wasn't. He was a genius. He knew that if he played I'm just a thick, silly actor, he could get away with murder. And he did, because people underestimated him. And the same thing is happening now with Donald. So, of course, Donald will be delighted to go to Windsor and Balmoral and the rest of it, and it is a great honour. But they think that's the thing that's won the day. Somehow and they're saying it on live telly. I saw the BBC. They go, "Oh yeah, the way to get on with Trump is you have to flatter him and because he's thick. He's a white American." That's what they're saying. Trump must be laughing his duck off. He must have sat with J.D. Vance and said, "Let's sort him out about the suits. Let's stitch him up about Russia if he dares to go down that line." And J.D. Vance would have said, "I'll have a go. I'll have a pop about free speech." And I couldn't believe it when Starmer turned around and said, "Yeah, well, we've believed in free speech longer than you." That's what he basically said. "My dad's bigger than your dad," right? He was getting a bit overconfident by this stage. His hand had stopped trembling. Starmer said, "Yeah, we protect free speech. Tell that to the grannies who have been sent to prison. Tell that to the rioters and the people you sent to prison for Facebook posts. Even though you knew he was a terrorist, Axel. You saw people go to prison." And I see now they're saying exactly what I said weeks ago. I predicted this. I said the duty solicitors would have been telling those people, first time in trouble, whatever you do, cough for it, and you'll get some time off, and you won't do 4 years or 5 years. You'll just do 2.5 or 3. People went to prison on bad advice. In fact, on no advice. That's a banana republic. That's a totalitarian state. That's wrong. We haven't got free speech. We've got journalists now getting arrested. We've got the thought police. If some person wants to stand outside an abortion clinic and just pray silently, they're not allowed to, right? I'm not supporting them. I'm saying they have a right. And of course, don't forget, when it comes to free speech, it is part of the American Constitution. It's not part of ours. Today, this is an unbelievable story. GB News have just won their legal case where they try to close them down, Ofcom, about, what's his name, Jacob Rees-Mogg. And do you know what that ruling is? That's 12 or 13 years after I lost my job. I lost my legal case against them. It's exactly the same thing that I was saying, that freedom of speech, Article 10, must come above everything else, even for radio presenters. When I was trying to protect kids who are in care, when I was trying to get them fostered, I ended up losing my job because I didn't have strong management, not the management that GB News has got, because for all their faults, they've stood by their presenter, they've stood by their programs, and they've beaten Ofcom into the floor. We do not need Ofcom. I don't forget, I was the first person to be cancelled. We don't need Ofcom. We've got an off switch. Don't like it. Twitter with your knob and listen to something else. Sorry, I've digressed. But that's what Starmer said yesterday. He's a stinking, filthy hypocrite. Then he said, "Oh, and it's great. It's great to have the bust of Churchill back in the House." And Trump liked that. Yeah, he liked that. Stinking, filthy hypocrite. They've just taken down the picture of Churchill in number 10 and in the Commons and our great heroes. And they've replaced them with the woman who could have stopped the riots, didn't stop the riots, Yvette Cooper. She's got her own portrait. Have you seen it? Let me put it this way. Who do you think is most important in our glorious history? Yvette Cooper, married to Ed Balls, or Sir Winston Churchill? I mean, that's a complicated question, isn't it? Or, say, Lord Nelson. Oh, you can't have Lord Nelson because he once thought about slavery. What a load of garbage. And then people are saying, Starmer came back, he won. Okay, but millions of people want to talk to me. Just be patient. I'm coming any second now. This is my final thing I want to say. Did he come back with a guarantee that the Americans are backing us up on the Chagos Isles? No. What he said was, well, you know, he didn't commit. Donald Trump didn't commit. And no wonder, he had no need to. He was testing them out. He was feeling them, yeah? Did he offer military backup if we put boots on the ground in Ukraine as a peacekeeping effort? No, he didn't. In fact, he definitely said he wasn't going to do that. He's not going to do it. So I'll tell you what's going to happen, Keir Starmer. You're going to send our boys and girls into Ukraine, into a war zone. They're going to come back in body nut bags to Bryce Norton, just up the road from where I am at the moment. And you're going to give me the bullshit and stand there with the flags draped over the bodies of those brave boys who you sent to their deaths. You will have blood on your hands. We should not be going there, especially now that the Germans, they've said they won't go. They won't do it. The French aren't going to do it. The Polish have said no. But as per usual, it's us, the British, who are going. And then did you see that bit where Trump said, I'm getting the money back from Zelensky? It was a down payment. He's got to pay me back. And then he said, you didn't do this. And then Starmer, the cheeky git, touched the arm of the most powerful man in the world, right? The president of the free world, Donald Trump, and said, well, no, that's not true. It's not all a gift. All a gift. None of it should be a gift. If he's having all the minerals, Trump, we should be getting our money back. We gave him boats, ships, tanks, Challenger tanks. And what? There's no deal there, Starmer. If you're liking what I'm talking about, press the like button, please. It's so important. If you really like the video when you watch it later, retweet it, get it out there, get people to hear that there is one sane person in this country who says yesterday, the hero of yesterday, the person who won yesterday was Donald Trump, not Keir Starmer. He came back with sweet FA. The trade deal, it's not definite. It's not all it is definite is we're not going to be in as bad a position as the EU. Well, hold on a minute, Starmer. You were an arch Remainer, and you, Mandelson. So why are you celebrating that? I thought you were EU lovies. And it's the same with all these lefties today, all going on about, oh, yeah, the patriotic right, the right have got it wrong, and they don't know what to say, and I know exactly what to say. Starmer was crap. He didn't achieve anything, just as I predicted. Trump was the winner. And then just to add on to that, today, Annalisa Dodds, now I do know who she is, but you probably don't because she's not hardly high profile, is she? She has just resigned because she's not happy, like loads of Labour people, with the fact that he's stolen her budget because she was in charge of overseas aid. He stole her budget to buy weapons with, effectively. No, sorry, not weapons. To give a load of it to Malaysia. Not Malaysia, Mauritius. For an island that we already own, and then we're going to lease it back. The nutter is still planning to do that. Now do you see why I'm angry? And he's going to send our boys into Ukraine. Yesterday was a selling out of our beautiful country, by those muppets who went to Washington. And their chums all on the plane and the white leather chairs all think they've made it. Yeah, that idiot from the BBC, what's his name? Mason, is it? Did you see the other one was there? Robert, what's his name, from ITV? Preston, whatever his name is. Useless gits, the lot of them. And then they've spent a week speculating, a week being racist about Donald Trump and intellectually trying to be superior to him. I'd like to see you run the United States of America, Mr. Preston, whatever your name is. And that's what you've done. Donald's pulled it off. He's done a masterstroke. He's got everyone around the table. I'm going to have a drink of water, and then we're going to carry on. Right, start sending your messages in now. Oh, I got a bit worked up there. Dave Burton, good day, John. Good day to you on Facebook. Bert, I'm with you, John. Thank you, Bert. Dave says on Facebook, Starmer is a barefaced liar. Yes, he is. A barefaced liar. And I still want to know, why was he, shoot, sir, getting his suits made for him by another man and letting another man buy his wife dresses? Don't add up to me. Graham Hatton, from two-tier to two-faced in one swoop. That's one of my big fans, Graham Hatton, AOR Guru. He's on YouTube. He's joined me. Oh, by the way, we're nearly at 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. Let's build it. Come on. We're going to build a community. Peter 2704 on YouTube. Starmer is an embarrassment. He certainly is. Mick in Frinton-on-Sea says the same. Starmer was embarrassing. Did you see him? He was sat on that chair, and I swear it was Ronnie Corbett. You know when it's Ronnie, you see that chair go, oh, Ronnie. Yeah, the producer bit, yeah? Which was a rip-off, actually, from who used to do that years ago? Frankie Howard used to come in and go, oh, that producer, It's the same story. But anyway, Ronnie Corbett was good at it. But that's what it looked like. Did you see the way that Trump sat down? He owned the chair, right? That was the difference. Matt says, Ken Dodd resigns. What a result. Ken Dodd, he means Annalisa Dodds. Yeah, you're right. She won't be the first. See, because now the question, Matt, is she's gone on a point of principle. So in a way, I can say, all right, fair enough. You disagree with what Starmer's doing, taking the money from overseas development. You think that will damage other countries. I think tough shit, because I think in a crisis like we're in at the moment, you've got to put your own country first. But you're entitled to your opinion, Annalisa or Ken, right? However, where does that leave Mr. Lammy? Where does that leave Mr. Mandelson, Lord Mandelson? Where does that leave Keir Starmer? Because all three of them believe in foreign aid. All three of them were against Trump when he last came. Where do they stand now? I'll tell you where they stand. They stand accused of flipping hypocrisy. Simon Hatt on Facebook. Keep writing in your messages. I'll come to them. It went exactly how I thought it would go, with one minor exception. I wanted to see the Chagos deal outright vetoed, but I don't think Donald J. Trump would humiliate Starmer in front of the press. Trump actually has more class than that. Simon, you're right. And in those meetings, that doesn't happen. It would have been great if he did, but it didn't. But even so, the Chagos deal, it shouldn't need to be told. Did you see the day before Lammy had said, well, if Trump doesn't like it, he could veto it, so it won't happen. That's like having your cake and eat it. And after we see how much he spent, over £500,000 on food in 7 months, we can believe that Lammy would want to have his cake and eat it, can't we? Fat chuffer. Graham Fletcher. Starmer did really well. Trump clearly gets on well with Starmer. Oh, Graham, please, get over yourself. And unless you think Trump is a liar when he says he admires Starmer, we'll get a great trade deal. Graham, what planet are you on? When you go to do a business deal, you spend loads of time. It might be a couple of meetings where you're just nice. You talk about football. You talk about your life. And you agree with everything they're saying. And then you get ready to hit them with what you want. Always leaving something for them in the deal. You've heard the analogy of the stage manager, haven't you? In theatres, they always say, leave a hammer on the stage. And you think, what does that mean? It means one mistake. So the director, when he or she comes in, you go, there's a hammer there, or you've left a nail in that scenery piece, and somebody could catch themselves and you go, oh, sorry, I'll do that. Because once they've spotted a mistake, they'll shut up, and then we can all get on with our jobs. That's what Trump was doing. We have a great trade deal, and he agrees with the Caucus Island. What do you mean the Caucus? No, he doesn't. He didn't say that at all. You're hearing what you want to hear, Graham. I watched it all day, and he wasn't schooled. Starmer did far better than so many would have thought about it. Talk Radio, GB News, hate the fact he did well. Do you? He didn't do well. He was useless. So I've answered your question. If he had done well and got a deal on the Chagos, not the Caucus, that's the Turks. I've been there. It's a lovely place. But the Chagos, he did not get a deal. He didn't get a trade deal. He didn't get anything. He came back with sweet FA at this point. I may be proved wrong. But if you can't see what Trump's doing, Trump's got to get him there. He's got to then get Zelensky today, then Putin. I think he's already sorted out Putin. And then we'll have peace, which is a great thing. Talk Radio, GB News, hate the fact he did well. Do you? So that's an accusation. Great of the king to invite Mr. Trump. I just give up. I just give up. Demigog just says suckers. Tomo Papillon. Hi, go on, Gaunty boy. I think that was when I was having a rage. Thank you, Tomo. What have we got next? The Baron Flights. All Trump has to do is take what Starmer says as the opposite of what he's actually going to do. Did you notice how many times Starmer touched Trump, stuck it up like he was his best mate? Yeah, but unlike Macron, it just doesn't come natural. Nothing comes natural with Starmer, does it? I mean, could you imagine making love with him? Go with me for a minute, even if you're heterosexual. Could you imagine what it'd be like It must be so boring. I hope his marriage is very happy. I'm sure it is. If we're sending our boys to Ukraine, is his lad going? Is he the first one on the plane? Or is it our kids and our grandkids who are going and coming back in a body bag at Bryce Norton? I just thought I'd ask. What do you reckon? At least Dodge has resigned and Labby should now, but then he's unemployable, says Mick on Facebook. Thank you. Afternoon, John. We all know Starmer is going to come back and say he's got a good deal, etc. But in the end, Trump has trumped Starmer. He's that thick, he doesn't even see it coming. You're right. And the press, though, they're the worst. The BBC and Sky, they all think he did well. And all of this is because they've come straight out of university, either gone into politics or gone into journalism. None of them are journalists. None of them are journalists. They wouldn't know a story if it mugged them. I've worked with these people. And they all love the fact, oh, I'm in the lobby. I'm in the lobby. Oh, I'm on the Prime Minister's plane. These people are almost as bad as the self-serving pigs. I've told you this many times. It's summed up by Adam Bolton. His wife, that he left his other wife for, used to be the gatekeeper for Tony Blair. Angie Hunter, or something her name is. I saw Bolton today. He was going, quite a good deal that. Well done, Starmer. They are all literally in bed with each other. They make me sick. Charlie Anderson, I'm with you. Tell it like it is. Bless up. Is that you out of the selector, Charlie? Nice to hear from you, my friend. Brilliant. Bass player he was. He had the locks. Del Boxall, this country is finished. We've got another 4 years of this, and there's nothing we can do. I hate politicians. Watching news at 10 last night, me and the missus were peeing ourselves laughing. I thought at one stage Starmer was going to get on top of the Trump. Unbelievable. John, I love you, mate, says Matt on YouTube, but you ain't sane. What do you mean I'm not sane? I don't want to be sane if it means I've got to say Starmer did a good job. I'll just say it as I is. Last night, I had 35, 40,000 people agreeing with me about what I was saying, and I had quite a lot of people hating me. I don't care. I don't care because I don't say things to provoke a reaction. I just say what I think. And then I don't care. Then if people start calling me a see you next Tuesday, I'll block them because I just can't be doing with it. But if they want to engage in a proper debate, I'll have a debate. Not for long, though, because they're normally wrong and I'm right. Star Taylor, the UK has become a third world cesspit. Well, I don't know about that, but it's certainly on its way. No one is sending troops. Oh, it's Graham Fletcher again. He's our Starmer fan. When Trump signs the mineral deal, there'll be many Americans. You've fallen for this as well. Many American workers in Ukraine. So as Trump said, it's very unlikely that Putin would bomb Americans in Ukraine. Just repeating Mr. Trump. You need to calm down, Gaunty. Graham, when I need you to tell me to calm down, I'll ask, right? Until then, shut up. Debate with me, but don't try and put me down for my passion. That's my passion, man. I'll have as much passion. I don't want to be vanilla like you. Ooh, do it again. Oh, sorry, that's too much passion. Graham, you are being shafted, but you can't see it. Manny, the limo driver. Afternoon, John. Not too late for once. Good. Start commenting then. Del Boxall, good old listener of mine, Facebook. There was a rumor that he had a secret that would bring him down. This was 6 months ago. But we never heard any more. There is a rumor. I know what it is, but you can't say it because there's a, well, you can't even say there's a, I probably said too much already. It's like being in a lower low. But I believe in karma. These things happen, my friend. Just wait up. Just be patient. Tomo, Papillon, you definitely need to somehow do phone-ins. Now that's where the pure comedy starts. Go on, John. Yeah, well, we're going to get to that stage, but not yet. We are going to get to a stage where we're going to be able to open the phone lines. But I got bored of doing that before, to be honest. And also, yeah, some of the phone-in people are funny, but basically, I'm funnier than all of them, usually. A bit big-headed, but you know what I mean. Simon Hatt, in a press conference, Starmer was asked about 2 recollections over Gaza, ... Obviously, the British lass coming home, but Palestinians walking back to their homes through the rubble. Surely the disgusting celebratory scenes that accompanied the repatriation of those children's coffins is eminently more memorable. Well, it is if you're not a robot. It is if you're a human being. It is if you're a proper father like me and you, Simon, but clearly not for Mr. Starmer. No. He thinks about the virtual signal that he can put out there, right? That's what he does. That's what comes first. It's like the BBC with that Hamas documentary. I'm glad to see they've now apologised. Bit late, but they've now apologised, only because they're going to get their licence fee taken off them. But anyway, Starmer appeasing his voter base back home. You've said it better than me, Simon, actually. Your last line is good. Dell, what you're asking there, I can't answer, but you can come to your own conclusion. You see, this is where we've got to be careful, guys, when we open the lines and we talk. We don't want to get closed down, do we? I mean, they've just been trying to close down GB News, which I've got to say, I think has improved immeasurably. Probably because I'm no longer on it. I think it's a very, very good station at the moment. Very good on what they're doing. The freedom of speech is so, so important. If you're looking at my face thinking, what's wrong with my face? I'll let you into a secret. I bought a cheap Chinese rip-off Philips razor. Yeah, I bought it a few months ago, right? I did that and it's not working, right? So I brought the charger, charged it, it worked. Yesterday, I think it was. It went zzz, and I did half my face, then it stopped. Then this morning, I was going to go and get a Bic razor. I didn't get round to it. I've been busy walking that blooming dog. But then, I just left this plugged in. I pushed it, just more in hope than expectation, and it worked. So just before the show started, I went, and you'll see, I got a bit off there. Then it stopped again. Bloody Chinese. I thought the Chinese ruled the world. I thought the Chinese were good at technology. This is a piece of nonsense. Q Hot. They only cost about 20 quid, though, compared to the Philips ones, which are about 150. But it's kind of quality, isn't it? Proves that you get what you pay for. Anyway, that's it. We'll have to do a Shavergate. Get people to donate money to me to buy a new rate now. I'm joking. However, if you do want to support the podcast, go to buymeacoffee.com. That was a silky link. Did you used to work in the radio, John? Buymeacoffee.com and put in anything from a £5 upwards. It all helps. Thank you very much. And have you become a member? If you haven't got a lot of money, might you want to become a member of my YouTube channel? That's 99p to join, the cheapest level, cheapest chips, or $2.99 if you want to be a super fan. Then you get like a badge when you comment. It's up to you. All helps. Funny how when Her Majesty invited Donald J. Trump to a gala dinner in his first term, that then Prince Charles and William refused to go. Oh, yes, I remember now. Because they didn't like him and his policies. She told them they had to go. Well done to Her Majesty. Show respect for the presidency and not the actual man. Yeah, it's the office that you show respect for. You're right, Manny. Funny how the now king is sucking up to him. Yeah, well, it all goes swimmingly until Donald J. Trump says, drill, baby, drill. Yeah? Won't it? Yeah? Meanwhile, we're leaving all that coal and we're not doing that fracking in Lincolnshire. It's fracking mad, isn't it? It is absolutely fracking mad. You have to be off your fracking thing. YouTube, that's fracking. I'm not saying the other word, so you can't close me down for that. Del Boxall. I've never found an electric shaver that did a good job. I think you're right. There's nothing better, is there, than going to the barbers and having a wet shave. All the towels, special, a proper Turkish barber, not the ones that are just money laundering, the ones that actually can cut your hair and cut your face. Brilliant. I had, where is he from? In Leamington. I can't afford to go anymore. A Romanian, was he Romanian? I think he was. A Romanian guy who did it. He was brilliant. He really took his time. And you came out feeling $1 million, right? But it was like the price of a woman's haircut, 50 odd quid. So, although my wife's just had her hair done and she never gets changed out of 100 quid. Why do they charge women, we're going off on one here, more than fellas? Anybody know? Yeah. But yeah, I've got to go and get my haircut. I love wet shave. And if you ever go to Turkey, have one there. When they do the old wax up the nose, wax in the ears, pulling all your hair off. I mean, Tory MPs would pay a fortune for that in a dungeon, wouldn't they? But you can get it for about £2.50 in Turkey. The Chinese don't invent anything. They steal it, then try and copy it. Sometimes it works. In case of your Philly shave knockoff, not so much. Well, yeah. I mean, it is clear that's a knockoff, isn't it? That is a Philly shave. I have had a proper Philly shave in the past. Really good. Not as good as... Who was the geezer who said, if it doesn't shave as close as a wet shave, I'll give you your money back? Victor Kayam. Do you remember those adverts? Still not working now. And it really has annoyed me because I'm down at my daughter's. I'm here till Monday. Monday's my birthday. Thank you. 64. I can't. How did I get to 64? And I can't have a celebration because I'm stuck here. I won't get back till later. She's my daughter and I'd love her to bits. So there we are. Right. We've run out of time. We've done enough. We've talked about it, but I'm saying clearly, from politician to king. Have you seen my graphic today for this show? He is the king of the world, Donald Trump. And I say, the king is dead, long live the king. And we should be listening and working with him. He's going to make the world a safer place. He's not perfect. He's not perfect. Simon Hatch just said, I liked it so much, I bought the company. Yeah, that's the catchphrase. It wasn't about giving you your money back. You're right. Nigel Britton, a UK-USA free trade surely means the end of Ramona's hopes of closer ties to the EU or returning in any format. Now, that's interesting. I'm glad you brought that up, Nigel, because that's the only positive that came out yesterday. If you were dubious about leaving the EU and thinking we made a terrible mistake, right? Thank God we did. Do you hear what Trump said about the EU? Trump's backing us. If he does back us, it's because we're an independent, sovereign country. And long may we remain so. I'm going to be very interested this weekend to see now how the press, the media, talk about Donald Trump. Because yesterday and this morning, all the front pages, it's all about Starmer being brilliant. He wasn't brilliant. Trump was stitching him up like a kipper. Annalise Dodds has now walked out on him. There'll be some other people now who'll move out. Although, like all lefties, when they get towards money and titles, they suddenly lose their principles. I think it's human nature, probably. Mick Smith. Hello, John. Hello, Mick. Peter, I'm jealous of America having someone like Trump, says Peter2704 on YouTube. Yeah, so am I. So am I. Dell says, cheers. Have a great weekend. Yeah, all right. I will. Well, I won't, because I'm going to be on my own all weekend. I'm here on my own all weekend. Daughter's over in Rome doing marathon running or something. What's that about? I was talking to some woman last night. Where was I? I don't remember where I was, but I said to this woman, yeah, my daughter does marathon running. She's away for the week. And I said, why do they have to go abroad to do a marathon? I said, it's the same as stag nights. I had a stag night in a local boozer, drunk myself into unconsciousness and got married the following week. Even then, I thought I was pushing the envelope because most people used to have their stag night the night before and then be on the train to Glasgow, stark, you know what, naked, missing the wedding. But then it suddenly became stag weekends. And now it's stag and hen weekends, but they want to go to Benidorm or now Eastern Europe. Soon it'll be, I'm having my stag weekend in Guantanamo Bay. I'll take a few people with you if you want, but you understand what I mean? It's all nonsense. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm going to try and sort out this beard. I will do a show tomorrow probably because I'm all alone. I want to do one about one of my best friends who just passed away, and it's kind of really affected me, both negatively and now in a positive way. He was just such a fantastic bloke. The kindest, most generous bloke you've ever known in your life. And he's a year younger than me, and he's gone. That don't seem right. So I might talk about that tomorrow. Do something away from politics. Something that comes to all of us. It won't be depressing. It'll be funny. It'll be as funny as hell. My dad's funeral was a great laugh. Anyway, see you tomorrow. If you got kids, give them a kiss, give them a hug. Hey, don't forget to tell them you love them. Will you please donate some money I'm on my own this weekend. I need some company. Thank you. Buymeacoffee.com. You know where it is. Or join me on YouTube. Join me on YouTube. All right, that's it. See you tomorrow. If you've got kids, give them a kiss, give them a hug. Don't forget to tell them you love them. See you later. Simon Hatt says cheers. Cheers, Simon Hatt. See you tomorrow. Thanks very much. Bye.